Much indeed. That Stonebwoy song, Greedy Man, and it speaks to the Galamsey conversation, which must be brought back to the front burner. I say I've traveled around Obuasi area, the Sekondi area. I've seen the rivers. We are not fighting Galamsey. We are pretending to be fighting Galamsey. I'm telling you. And anybody who doubts that should come and have the videos. I'll show them how the water is like cocoa brown something. The Anchor newspaper. Mine workers blow alarm on chiefs, others over alleged extortion and mining communities. Robbers gun down gold buyer at WhatsApp. Minerals Commission tackles NDC MP again. Says license granted Messrs. Quantry Limited is for mining, not prospecting. Morale at customs dumping after Colonel Damwa is removed. The Finder newspaper, SIM re-registration drops by 98% after deadline extension. Ghana launches thereafter hub to spearhead digitalization trade. Substandard pesticides penetrating market due to rising cost. President ends Colonel Damwa's term of office. Government pays 485 million Ghana cedis COLA to public sector workers for July and August, according to the Controller and Accountant General. Also, SHS students to apply for loan ahead of university admission next academic year. Well, once that was promised them, the loans without guarantees. Where is it? The Daily Guide newspaper. Accra Zoo closed down. There's a lion there. Somebody says wanted to steal the cub to sell to someone. Nana axes Colonel Damwa. Mahama attacks judges again. And Apejahene clears air on two lands. Registrar to scrap 2,584 companies. The Ghanaian Times. Veep wraps medical practitioners for poor professional attitude conduct. ORC to delist 2,584 dormant companies for failing to file annual return financial statements. And we have not issued permit to any company to undertake reconnaissance, prospecting and mineral exploration in forest reserves, according to the Minerals Commission. Immigration officer lands in trouble for allegedly defiling two girls aged 9 and 10, and Colonel Damwa relieved of post as Commissioner of Customs Division of the GRA. The Daily Graphic will make Central Region preferred investment destination, according to the Regional Minister Justina Marigold Asan. I haven't heard from her in a long time. Planting for food jobs needs review. Former best farmer advises 15% COLA hits workers' accounts, and Colonel Damwa relieved of post. The ABC News. Attack on Supreme Court threat to democracy. Justice Dose yells at Mahama. NPA shuts down at Timpoku Shell filling station for selling petrol laced with water. I think Vivo Energy also did that earlier before the regulator got in. Attacks on judiciary dangerous. And OT region, over 500 students benefit from Girls in ICT SHS program. The Daily Statesman. Customs chief removed from office. Oyerepa FM resumes operation. Judge cautions Mahama over judiciary reshuffle comment. Accra Zoo death. Bureau of Public Safety demands answers. BNFT. Over 500,000 registered on private health insurance. NHIA boss Okuboy says so. As Enterprise Insurance, Star Life picks top gong at 5 fifth insurance awards. Government pays 485 million Ghana cedis COLA. Bounty for food and jobs fertilizer supply drops by 150%. Minister seeks support from private fertilizer firms. And also, finally, the business analyst Oyerepa Radio resumes operations. GJ President Albert Jufor there after fruitful meeting between GJ and Kumasi Traditional Council. Also, Ghana's economic challenges unprecedented, according to John Mahama. Customs boss removed following expiration of contract in October 2021. We had to wait till August 2022 to do that. Interesting country we are, aren't we? My guest this morning, the Honorable Bernard Mona, he's here, and also the Honorable Murtala. Honorable Murtala Mohammed, he likes to be called Comrade, is a member of Parliament for Tamale Central, and also Davis and Sopoko is the MP for Emprise, joining us this morning. This segment is brought to us by Nice Chocolate, and it's a taste of Ghana. It's affordable and is available across the country. It's nutritious, it's healthy, and it's good for every member of the family. You go out, get some bite, chocolate spread, or you like the sachet that you can have a quick fix with it, or you have the mini bottles or the Tetra Packs or the chocolate nuggets. Whichever one you choose, you are having a taste of Ghana. You're living healthy, you're helping your circulation, and you will live happily ever after. Thank you to Grandpa Clothing at Dansoman for my outfit. 020985 5696. Again, 020985 5696. Niche Grandpa They are part of the homegrown solutions. We will start the conversation with a colleague from Oyerepa FM. Good morning. How are you doing?
Yes, good morning. I'm very well.
Are you on air?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
When did you get on air?
Yesterday after we had returned from Malaysia.
Okay, I see. Now, how did your listeners take your going off air and coming back on air? Did you get any feedback from your listeners?
Obviously, yes. They were disappointed. They were not happy. We were off air, but we explained to them that that was the best option available to us, and that we're very certain of coming back on air on Monday. Yeah.
The conversation was that it was not a directive for you to go on air, but in your own interest, you could have stayed on air or you could have gone off air. You decided to go off air. Is that the situation?
Yeah, that's the situation. Yes, but the suggestion was such that we felt that was the best option for us. Honestly, it wasn't a directive, but we felt we had no other. The other options were not the best in our situation.
Now you're back on air. Of course, I'm sure that the morale of your staff will be important to you as general manager, Mr. Tue Champon. What have you been telling them in order not to dampen their spirits?
Very well. We are meeting today. We've scheduled a general staff meeting today, and there are some of the issues they may not understand. So what we plan doing today is to explain to them the circumstances, what really led to the decisions we took, and what we should be able to do moving forward. We believe that we all need to ensure that this unfortunate incident doesn't occur again. So we all need to take some education out of this. We all need to be very sure that we don't get back to where we got ourselves to. So there's a meeting at 12 noon today. We are all meeting. We have invited some one or two resource people to have a discussion with us about the whole issue and how we intend to deal with it forthwith.
Now, people have been raising questions that the traditional authority were trying largely to crush an ant with a sledgehammer. Is that how you feel as well?
Well, it depends. It depends on from where the person is. First of all, we had always accepted the fact that the comments were not the best. We always believe that we have indicted them in a way. We believe that the allegations made by our resource person was unjustifiable. It could not be substantiated in any way. So now it was up to them to also decide how best to go. So when we were invited, right from the word go, we said we are sorry. It was not the best thing to have happened. Our presenter could have done better when when Odike started talking about them. So when we went there and they said our apology was not strong enough and that traditionally that was not the way to go, we had to come back. So those who had mentioned yesterday realized that, look, we had gone there giving indications that we're really remorseful and that we felt that we have slighted them. We felt that it shouldn't have come from us. So they had the right to look at the issue from the angle they felt was the best for them. So I wouldn't agree or disagree with anybody, depending on how it is described, my brother.
Members of the Fourth Estate, we started this Galamsey fight before the office of the president and the government decided to take it over, and today we are where we are. His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu himself has had reason to say publicly that the sector minister and some other officials had come to him with a speech and have asked him to stick to the speech. What exactly did Mr. Kwesi Adeleke say, which has not been said before? That's the question people are asking now.
Okay, so you see, the issue of Galamsey was not the real deal. It wasn't their source of worry. Now, it was comments that Mr. Kwesiade made, for instance, that he was going to organize the youth to go to Menchia. And in Chi, when somebody says that Metin Tesuskoko was virtually, he said that he's going to organize people to attack you.
Right.
So their main concern was that even if Mr. Kwesiade Odike, who comes from this part of Ghana and has all the access to Otumfuo and the chiefs, he could have done that instead of giving an indication that he was organizing the youth to attack the chief. For them, they felt that was a security issue. And as individuals, they walk around town, they live within us in the community. So to organize the youth to attack them, I think that was their main source of worry. They feel that the issue of Galamsey could be discussed, but to first of all, create the impression that they were behind it and that you were going to organize the youth to attack them. I think that was their main source of worry, given the interactions we had with them throughout. So that was the aspect that we felt that, look, you don't need to use our platform to organize youth to attack our chiefs. So the issue of the Galamsey, my brother, I think that could be discussed later. But the main issue was organizing the youth to attack them. I think that was what they were not comfortable with.
How does this affect the confidence of broadcasters in the region particularly? You have been on air Friday, Saturday, Sunday, got back on Monday. Going forward, we host political shows. We host news and current affairs conversations. People make statements before you realize. How is that going to affect, because you're one of the leaders within the region, affect the confidence of broadcasters in the region?
That's why I think that we need to lead and explain certain things. You see, one thing must be clear. Throughout our interactions with Menchia, they did not try in any way to gag us. I don't remember making any points at any stage that, look, don't talk about us. I can't remember Menchia telling us that, look, don't go and do your work as you should. They rather were advising us to stick to the ethics of our profession. So, for instance, they advise that the resource persons we invite, we don't need to allow them to slight people, to indict people, and that we should go ahead and do our works as we have learned as journalists. So I think that in terms of the confidence of journalists, they rather have emboldened us and told us that, look, if we do something which is not good, there are ways to deal with it. But don't go and say things about us which you could not substantiate. For instance, they asked us that their doors are open if there's anything that we do not understand. The secretariat is there. There are chiefs we could contact, because to them, there are some of them who really understand the issues and could even come to the studios to have discussions with us. So I don't think this will affect the confidence of anybody, if indeed you want to stick to ethics of our profession.
Odike has put you in a limelight better than you would have on your own, because it stirred controversy. The Menchia Palace itself had occasion to invite you. The GJ has been there, Peace Council, all over the world. Everybody's talking about Oyerepa. Will you still go ahead and host Odike, or what's your decision on Odike?
Honestly, we have not taken any decision on Odike, because we think that it is not Odike as a person, but we are going to be quite circumspect with all the people who come on our shows. We need to be careful that we don't allow them to indict others when, for instance, they cannot substantiate those allegations. So Odike, yes, we have no issues with Odike. I think he has one or two issues to sort out with Menchia. If that is sorted out, and then we feel the need at any point to invite anybody, including himself, all we need to do is that we are putting in measures that will ensure that we don't talk about people when we don't have the facts to back what we are saying.
What issues does he have to sort with Menchia before he can come on your shows?
Obviously, I mean, he is supposed to meet them on Thursday. He did not appear before them. They were expecting him yesterday. He did not come. As it stands now, I don't think he is in town. So what I'm saying is that assuming all the issues are sorted.
Okay. Do you see this as an attack on press freedom?
It's reported to it. Probably apologize to them or whichever way he wants to go. I don't think as a station we are banned ODK from coming here. No.
My final question to you, sometime out to Champo. Do you think this
I will
is
ensure that we don't indict anybody, not Nananum alone, but including anybody, politicians or whoever comes here. We make sure that we say things that we can back with facts. And that's all, yeah.
Do you think this is an attack on press freedom?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, no. I've had that discussion. I've indicated elsewhere that the discussions will go on. It is not for us to determine, but we took an option that we felt was the best for us under the circumstance. Option A, you can take us to the media commission, you can take us to court, you can do whatever you want to do. We go the long haul with them. Option B, go off on Friday. Obviously, weekends are not so busy. Meet them Monday morning and then tell them you are sorry. And of course, you come back and then continue your work. So we took that option. Now, obviously, a lot of people will disagree with that. So in the statement that we issued yesterday, we mentioned what GJA, GIBA, NMC, and all those people had done. They advised us to ensure that we don't go off because that was not the best. Constitutionally, that was not the best. But we realized that, look, are we ready to dare them? Are we ready to say, look, we are not going off, do your worst? But our directors and management decided that, can we go off on Friday, meet them on Monday and say sorry, so that you continue with your work? So I wouldn't say it's an attack on press freedom. We were not attacked. We did something which was wrong. Obviously, we agreed that it was not the best, and we said sorry, and now we are back on air.
Thank you. Sometime Otue Champo, he's the general manager of Oyerepa FM. Is that Oyerepa? Okay, good wife. We'll see you. Thank you very much indeed. And Bona, you heard the general manager.
You're a chief.
What's on your mind? You're a traditional ruler as well. And I see you came in regalia.
Good morning to you.
Morning, sir.
To Davis and then to Mutala. I've been out of Accra for a couple of days, I think. And I happened to, after my brother's funeral, to go to the northern region where I attended the funeral of the late Alhaji Ibrahim Mubla, the then Northern Regional Chairman, and also the Chief of Tugu Yapalsi, who graciously titled me the Palalana of Tugu Yapalsi. And I saw Mutalenko. I think that they did a good job for their departed chairman. It was a well-attended funeral, and I think that the adua and everything went well. I have been on the farm for a couple of days too, and then I returned just last night, only to be hauled before you this morning. I have listened to Sometimer, an interesting name though, and I think that he's living a sometime life. Clearly, if this is the posture of management of media houses, you will struggle to get people to come to your shows, to come and speak. He is virtually giving up or giving out ODK to the lions to devour. And if you do that to your panelists, you do not expect that your panelists will be confident enough to come and speak the way they have to speak. I believe strongly in our traditions. I am a royal, and I believe in the authority of our kingship or chiefdoms. But in a constitutional republican democracy, there are ways to do things. If our chiefs decide that they will circumvent the traditional, the constitutional remits and take things onto their hands, what they are inviting onto our society is that we, the citizens, must also ignore the constitutional arrangements and take things into our hands. That will lead to anarchy and chaos. And no one will be in control of such a situation, because anyone then can get them saying that I have issued a fatwa, I banned you, I command you to come before me, and that is not it. Odike did not come to the Manshia or Asante to speak. He spoke on a radio station. If he made some allegations or made some pronouncement that doesn't sit well with Asante and the chiefs, all we need to do is to invite the appropriate regulatory institutions. You can call the GJ, you can call them GIBA,
MMC.
You can call the ONET MMC, and in worst situation, you can even decide to take the matter to court for defamation.
The manager says, sometimes I said, they decided to go for this option.
I'm saying that
shutting down.
That should be the approach by our chiefs, so that they are not seen to be above or lords of the laws. But in the instance where we saw the chiefs make the pronouncements, and what exactly did Odike say? If things does not change, I will organize the youth. So it means that he, in event, was cautioning that things have gone bad. Let us take time to correct the errors that we have committed. The Asante himself said so. He pointed out to the chiefs and told the chiefs that this whole issue of galamsey and giving out of lease and what have you, if the chiefs did not participate, nobody can come and start mining in your communities without the approval and tacit endorsement of the various community chiefs. Asante said that. In saying so, he was referring to the fact that the chiefs were engaged in some things that were inimical to our general well-being. The president has not minced words on that. The minister responsible for natural resources has not minced words for us. Odike comes on a platform and makes it. And in my opinion, I never heard about Oyerepa before. I am not sure whether my brother also heard about Oyerepa before.
Oyerepa is good sickness.
Okay, Oyerepa. Don't forget that.
That's also gotten his.
Don't forget that I'm from Sankana. So
they've been making fun of me on this program.
Oh no! If I decide to speak Dagare, Kabibionga, Ibanya Samarundi, you will not understand what I'm saying. But I'm learning.
I get it.
I'm learning, so you should pardon me.
You are not obliged to even learn.
No, I'm learning, so you should pardon me when I make the mistakes.
You're free.
You understand? It's the love for the language that probably is pushing me to go and learn. So I enjoy my caricatured tree.
I hear you.
Oyerepa, right?
Oyerepa.
So I didn't hear about Oyerepa before. This thing has magnified Oyerepa beyond even the shores of Ghana. And they should be thankful. Yeah, if where I come from, if you are summoned before anybody, we say that you don't refuse the summons, but you can refuse the content of the summon. So I don't see why Odike probably would not even want to respond to the summons. He should go. If I have opportunity to advise him, I'll tell him, go. Listen to what it's all about, and then you can decline. In the traditional setting, you don't refuse summons. You go, but you can refuse what the someone wants you to do.
But he is an indigene of the land.
And so he can go.
So then if he refuses it, there will be consequences for him.
No, he should appear before the summoned committee or the summoners and then make his point clear. Probably he will even get a better opportunity to ventilate what he could not say on air. Because now he has an open opportunity with them. I'm sure probably he's even a royal. And so he could also become a chief of one of the communities. And so I don't think that there's anything wrong. But you see, it's becoming worrying of recent. Particularly when you take the incidents about the Adan Atufu, something. Asafutufia. Asafutufia means shooting of guns.
Yes, Asafutufia. Asafutucha.
So you have to you shoot guns. You understand? So the chiefs banned the Adan radio.
You did ban them?
Yes, no, they stopped them from participating in the festival and asked them not to even come to the festival in their, what do we call it, paraphernalia, to say that they are there. They were not supposed to cover. They were not supposed to interview anybody.
This latest one will bring to 10, right?
You
10
understand?
of those reports.
And I think that these things are becoming much too many in our society, that any group, the chiefs, any person can just get up and say, this media house, because you will have hosted someone who made statements that are unpalatable to us, we can just get up and make a pronouncement that don't operate.
Well, they were giving the options. Yesterday, if I heard
that was a major threat.
Well, he said that you decide.
If Odike said something and you said that Odike was threatening you, and you go ahead to say, you will do. If you want, go. If you want go in our Ghanaian parlance, means that we are threatening you and daring you. If you try it, you face consequences. And of course, they were timid to the marrow. They could not carry their balls, so they decided that why not close down on Friday and then go and pay clemency before or seek clemency. Then, if we are granted, we can go. I mean, I think that the media space should be allowed to operate. I revere our traditional authority, but I do not think that in instances like this, they should act ultra-vires.
I hear you. Mutala.
Well, good morning, Johnny. Good morning to my brother. Something strange happened this morning.
What is it?
When you introduce him, as he does every time I'm on a program with him, he desperately and with alacrity would describe me as his kid brother.
And which is true.
Today is missing. If you're older than me, just some few days. I'm in the same year, the same month.
Just admitting that few days.
How would you?
I'm older than you.
In fact, in our traditional balance, when you have twins, the one who comes first
is
the youngest.
Small one, yeah.
So perhaps I sent you to come and see what is happening in the world. And good morning to my,
that's a good one.
My brother. You accuse him that he is not minding, he's chopping alone.
Yeah, I can see that.
Everybody can see that. That is understandable. And good morning to good people.
He's chopping from the man is chopping from the president's kitchen. How can you expect that he will not chop?
I'm only a member of parliament, just like Mutala.
In fact, who could commandeer the entire MPP caucus
we share
to leave the chamber?
If there's something that I'm enjoying, then my brother is also enjoying it.
Johnny, what was wrong with the position taken by the Adan chiefs? I don't think that they did anything wrong. If you have your program, you decide who comes there. You can decide that I don't want to have TV3 there. There was absolutely nothing wrong with the decision that was taken.
It was a public function.
It doesn't still matter. The
Festival of the
public
people.
function organized by a group of people. And those people think that we don't want to have this media house there. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that.
You think so?
There was absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Why do you think so?
Why? If you have your program, you decide who. Why? Flagstaff House, haven't they organized programs and refused to invite you people? And who questioned them?
Not TV3.
I'm saying that you journalists.
No. So the last time in 2019,
yes,
we were invited, but we were not allowed to ask that question.
And so that's the point. I'm saying that what is the difference between that? I'm saying that you...
But we were invited.
Well, I'm saying that you decide who comes on your program.
No, must you even be invited?
I'm saying that you decide who comes on your...
But it's a festival.
It doesn't
this will not be the first
Johnny,
time.
the festival is not a festival for the nation.
Shocked.
It's a festival for a group of people who have their festival and think that this media house should not come there. But that's not the point. Why are you shocked?
But they are indigents. So.
I'm saying that...
They were indigents first.
And they have been covering this thing for the past 24 years.
You know, the point I'm trying to make, I'm not trying to justify or not justify the action taken by the Ghana. Yes, but what I'm just trying, the point I'm trying to... They are done, sorry. The point I'm just making is that there were a lot of people who spoke out against them. Unfortunately, they are all in a complete state of incommunicado in the matter of a radio station that is being banned. That is the level of hypocrisy in this country. I listened to people who condemned that decision taken by the Adan Traditional Authority, and which I don't think that was entirely wrong, that you have the right to do so. Yet, those people are very quiet. We are not hearing them speak out against this. I listened to some timer, and he said that they were not given they were not asked to go and close. And why? We all listened to the Bantamahim, who said that if you want us to listen to you, if you want us to even accept your apology, go and close down the radio station from Friday. So it was a directive. So I am surprised he's saying that it wasn't a directive. It was a directive.
It was a suggestion.
No. That is not suggesting. If you tell me that, if you tell me,
it says if.
If you want us to listen to you, when you are done,
you were opposed.
If you want, yes, if you want us to listen to you, if you want us to accept your apology, go and do this. That is not a suggestion. It's directive. But the people went there to apologize.
But then, to be fair, I can't be talking and you be talking at the same time. I need to keep quiet to listen to you.
No, but in fact, before they came there, they had rendered an unqualified apology on their program. That is my problem. Look, I will condemn any statement made against any chiefdom or any traditional authority. I'm a royal myself.
Right.
I will condemn any statement. It is unacceptable, and we have seen such reckless statements made on radio by either journalists or participants on radio programs that has plunged nations into chaos and anarchy. Rwanda is a classical example. So it is always good to measure the kind of statements you make, more so in societies like Asante-Man. So I'm saying that I'm not trying to hold brief for any statement Odike made or didn't make.
Right.
We need to condemn any excesses in the statements he made. But I'm saying that when they apologize, my understanding of traditional authorities and traditional setup is that when you have your subject commits a crime and apologizes, that apology must be accepted. If there are some consequences as a result of that apology, you can ensure that consequence is coming. But Bernard, Odike has not refused to go to Manshia. I listened to him. Odike says that I have been banished and that a ram was slaughtered, banishing him from coming there. So he can't go there until the banishment has been taken off. So he hasn't refused to go there. Well, I have been banished.
That's the situation.
Exactly. And his view is that, look, and I remember when they interviewed him on one of the radio stations, and the man asked, but you have a platform, a national platform, you can render the apology. And said, look, per the traditional setting, I don't apologize on air. I need to go before the chiefs and apologize. But before I apologize, I need to go there. Then they will tell me this is what you have done wrong. I don't think that the Asante-Man or the chiefs are saying that every single statement he made on that program was wrong. But they have problem with specific statement. And if those statements are indicted, I condemned those statements. But he's saying, before I do that, I need to be told, not what is published in the media.
Right.
This is where you went wrong. Then I will then apologize. And he said, you cannot go to the palace when you are banished
from entering
there, not to come there. So if they want me to come there, then the banishment should be taken first and foremost. So I don't think that Odike refused to go to the traditional authority, but the banishment ought to be taken.
Can he, for example, use the services of other chiefs, and go
whatever
there?
Chiefs he's going to use, they must lift it. Look, please.
The banishment cannot be in place and for him to appear in the same court.
The chiefs can go there, but it is he appearing there in person.
Okay. So the chiefs can go there first.
Exactly.
And atone. And
exactly.
Then
so when I listened to some time, and he says that he was expected the day before the Friday, Thursday. He couldn't, he was also expected yesterday, he couldn't come. Now I listened to the gentleman. The gentleman says, look, I've been banished. Until they lift that banishment, I cannot come there. I don't know whether he is putting the necessary, measures to ensure that some of these processes, and mind you, these are processes that come with some traditions. Because if a ram was slaughtered, for you to be banished, I guess there will be other processes by which they can lift the banishment for you to appear. We don't know whether he has kickstarted. But let's look at the substance of the matter. And it seems to me that is completely missing in the discourse we all have, not here, even on this program, across the media landscape. That we are not talking about the specific statements he made. What did he say that the Asante-Hene didn't say? The Asante-Hene has an uncompromising position against Galamsey.
That's right.
And every little opportunity he gets, he condemns not only the Asante-Hene and all the chiefs, Western region, Central region, that you have this Galamsey pervasive, where our water bodies are destroyed, the video you just showed us. But let's zero it to the Asante-Hene. He's been very, very, forthright. He's been very firm in the matter of the Galamsey. And I have seen a video where he himself thinks that some traditional authorities are colluding, are participants in this Galamsey. Right. And he didn't just make that statement. He made that statement in the presence of his chiefs. When he made that statement and warned that if any chief is seen to be engaged in that, there will be some consequences. So if you look at that specific statement, I don't think that Odike did something wrong. Except...
Was it that then doom here then also?
I'm saying that, yes. I'm just reiterated what that's saying. Except when the explanation he gave, which literally means he was saying that he was mobilizing people to attack the Manshia Palace. For all you know, that was not his intention. For all you know, he might have made that statement without looking at it, the literal interpretation that will be given.
Mentioned Manshia Palace.
No, I mean sometime.
I mentioned it.
Sometime I mentioned
But he didn't say in the tape that I listened to. The kid didn't say. He
no,
was attacking Manshia.
I'm not talking. I'm saying what sometime I said, that the chief's problem with all the things he said was inferring. He was inferring that they assumed that he was mobilizing people to attack the Manshia, and where I think that I have problems with him. In any case, even if he said so, they could have reported it to the police, or they could have indeed reported it to the various statutory bodies. NMC, the DJ. They could have called him. I guess that. But you see, the problem people have has to do with the closure of the radio station. And I see that sometime is trying to say that, oh, we're not asked to close the radio station. No, it was not at will. We heard the Bantamahini. It was a command that if you want us to listen to you, if you want us to accept your apology, then you need to, and in fact, that date, you need to close down the station by Friday. It was not even a date that was chosen. If it was not an instruction, why did they choose to close it on Friday? And before they came there, they had apologized to Manshia for that. And which, if indeed statements were made that are injurious to the palace, we all ought to condemn it. Because the traditional authorities are active participants in this our whole entire governance structure. And therefore, we cannot be talking about democracy without the involvement, the active participation, and sometimes the regulation of conduct of people by our tradition. In fact, our constitution also recognizes the role of chiefs and traditional authorities in the entire governance structure that we operate.
So what can Odike do now?
What he can do, I think that, like myself and you and all of us do not know what he's been doing behind the scenes. And like he suggested, I believe that he can reach out to some traditional authorities to start the process of ensuring that this banishment is lifted. I said on a program yesterday that I believe if the Santehine was around, I don't think that this thing would have, generated to the level it should, considering the fact that he himself has been very, very focused, very, very, high-handed, if you like, on the position of Galamsey. So I just think that we should allow cool heads to prevail. He should start the process to ensure that at least this banishment is lifted, and he should go there. Mind you, he's also concerned about his security. Because I remember when they interviewed him, he said, I'm at a hideout. Because people had attacked his office. And I guess the police were even brought in. So what is the guarantee that if he goes to Manshia, he wouldn't be attacked? And I believe that there are a lot of assurances that he may need. One, assurances from the traditional authorities that yes, as a son of Asanteman, come and appear before us. And before that is done, the banishment, of course, should have been lifted. His security should be guaranteed. And I believe that once Asanteman says that nobody should attack him, they should allow him to come, atone to some of the mistakes that he made. I think that is the way to go. But let's get something very clear. Ghana is not a monarch. Ghana is a democracy. And the democracy works in tandem with traditional authorities. That if anybody does anything that is at variance to the principles and the ethics of our traditions, we must involve the democratic institutions. Involving the democratic institutions are institutions such as the NMC, institutions such as the police service, the security agencies. And I think that this issue wouldn't have even reached there if they had called him. But I have a problem, again, with the radio station. Sometime I have a problem because, you see, when you ask him whether he doesn't think that this is an attack on free speech, he said, well, hesitant. I won't conclude on that hesitant. So clearly, it's an attack on free speech.
You think so?
Yes, it is. It is an attack on free speech. But that free speech doesn't mean that you can say anything you want.
Right.
Where you can stretch your hand, but where your hand ends, you should know that is where another person's noses begins. So I'm not suggesting in any way that because of free speech and democracy, anybody can sit there, berate traditional authorities or any other person. That is not what I'm suggesting. Okay. But I'm saying that we could have dealt with Odike, but to ask the radio station to close down if they want to be listened to or if they want their apology to be accepted, I think that they took it too far.
Okay, let's listen to His Royal Majesty Ostumfuo Tutu at the forum organized on Galamsey. It was organized in the Ashanti region. That was when he had indicated that the Honorable Minister for Lands and some other officials had come to him with a speech directing him to speak to the notes that they had presented to him and not go outside it. On that occasion, he said he will speak the truth. And he even mentioned that the gathering there, including chiefs and traditional authorities and, state actors, had about more than half of the people in that room were complicit in Galamsey. Take a listen.
As I'm making Master before I read my speech, I can't send baby and and regional minister name Meba Jina Pomba and almost say and Eba Joya can't the work at and so my person mechana. And this are no Musibia mechanism Fufrobia air day kakra. As I said, no crane me catch you almost said Galamsey, ye can, and them have me chimu, ye chimu send me a year, you are nature me and son. A mobile 30% in Boma ye Galamsey. Ye to them, hey. See, I GM watching ya, ye chimu, mobile 30% and not any Boma ye Galamsey. Kind of crane you better die, why be a conference here. Say, Michia, my bay, Galamsey, but was in an unknown chance as in a mile. What can we anymore? No more kind of never out to be our chance as your dear Galamsey. You was off who brown who was a wire upon it.
Asantimera Otunfor said to the second there, and he made two statements, in fact three. One, that he cannot be pushed into making statements that he doesn't want to make. Two, that 30% or more of the people in that room are complicit in Galamsey. And three, that some chiefs are also complicit in Galamsey and they must bow down their heads in shame. Davis, I ask you, listening to Sometime, he said the issue of the chiefs was not about Galamsey, and that could be discussed later. But then their issue was that people were going to be marshaled against them. Is that an admission that they are, if you will, involved in Galamsey and that they're not really concerned about it?
Well, not entirely, but let me start by saying good morning to my seniors and also to my constituents. I know they are they are watching us this morning.
Have we set up the business for the person who wanted to set up business for?
Well, I think clearly. I mean, we need to be extremely careful when we are discussing these matters. Mm-hmm. The reaction of Menchia is not really. It has nothing to do with the comments on Galamsey, because I know that Menchia in itself has joined the fight against Galamsey. I know instances where Otunfor has had to reprimand people for engaging in Galamsey. And just like sometime I said, the comments on Galamsey was not really the issue. But instead, the attack on Menchia. And you see, if somebody goes to sit on radio, today, if I sit on radio, and I speak against Menchia, or I say things against Menchia, by inference, I'm speaking against Otunfor. More so when you don't have any evidence to back your claim that Otunfor himself is engaged in Galamsey. I think that
did he say that?
Yes. I mean, when he started his discussion, his main focus was that today is centering on, is focusing on Menchia. And that Menchia is engaged in Galamsey. No, I mean, I've listened to the audio. No, it is the introduction. It's introduction. If you have the tape, you can play its introduction.
I thought he said
so clearly,
Menchia is allowing, is sitting and
no. So clearly, his comments were targeted at Menchia, and to create the impression that Otunfor himself is engaged in Galamsey, for me, was the low.
Was that the impression you got?
Well, I'm saying that. If today I sit on radio to say
I'd rather we stick to the facts.
No, I'm coming.
And
I'm dead, and it's not my making.
Allow me, please, Chief.
It's not my making. If I sit on radio to say that the Okwawu, for the fact that I've used Okwawu, I'm referring to Dasibre Ekwemwa Japan. The fact that you use Menshia, you are referring to Otumfuo because Otumfuo is the head, is the embodiment of Menshia.
Right.
You understand? So you see, clearly, Otumfuo himself is a champion of press freedom. I mean, there's been instances where he's met with media personnel, training programs for media personnel, and he's cautioned them that yes, you may have press freedom, but it comes with certain boundaries and all of that. But that put aside, I think it's important for us to appreciate the chieftaincy institution and the fact that, I mean, they play a critical role in our national politics or in our national development and all of that. I feel that it would be wrong on anybody's part to go on radio, even if you have facts, when you have not presented same to the institution that you belong to go on radio and begin to attack them. Because you see, they are not like the politicians that we have, that every morning I will get the privilege of coming to sit on TV3. They are like just like judges. A judge cannot come and sit on TV3 and be answering questions or be trying to explain himself and all of that. So it behoves on us as citizens of this country to be circumspect, especially when we are discussing issues of chieftaincy. More so when Odike is a prominent Ashanti. He is somebody who I'm told has some close links at Menshia. So if you have any evidence that a chief in Ashanti is engaged in the practice, I think the first point was to have gone to Menshia, sought audience with the Ashanti Hine, and explain to him, give him evidence that this chief, because you see clearly, Otumfuo in every public gathering will condemn everybody engaged in Galamsey, including his own subjects.
Don't you think that, and let's straight the conversation, I mean, because we're talking about the chiefdoms, that chiefs are supposed to live beyond reproach, my chief. Now, if a chief now lowers himself, and I'm not talking about Menshia and the chiefs within, I'm talking about Otumfuo's comments that some chiefs themselves are complicit and that they should bow down their heads in shame. Yes, they were sitting there in that room. If the chiefs fail to live beyond reproach and they bring themselves to that level where the people can now see them and see them engage in illegality, yes, why should you be circumspect in telling them the truth in their faces?
No, you see, and then again, I listened to the case. I mean, he did not make any allegation against any chief.
Right.
I mean, he generalized the whole argument, more like a pedestrian sort of commentary, which I felt that if indeed he knew that, let's say, the chief for OPK's house is engaged in Galamsey, you would have mentioned my name personally on radio.
Otumfuo did not do so.
You would have mentioned my name, and Otumfuo did not accuse any specific person.
He said 30%.
But to say that Menshia, it means that you are accusing Menshia and his chiefs. That's what Odike. But you see,
but the 30% that were in Menshia are also of the Menshia.
You see, I'm excited. I'm excited at the pusher of Samtimer, and rightly so. Because
why are you excited?
Because you see, yes, you may be looking at the press freedom, the right to information, the right to free speech, and all of that. But he operates a radio station in Kumasi. And if you know how powerful Menshia is, just by an order, people will stop advertising on this. So the commercial aspect of what even he does in Kumasi.
So is that right?
No, no. Of course, today NDC decides that we won't go to Oman FM.
No, we are not talking about NDC.
Is that not within their right to do that?
We are talking about NDC. We are talking about the chief.
NDC decides that
involves everybody.
NDC decides that they will not go to Untumi TV. Is that not your right?
But the NDC is not contributing commercially to Untumi or to Oman.
Says who?
Are they contributing?
Today, if MPP decides...
You're talking two things.
I'm coming. Please.
Oh, no, hold on, please. Let's not mix the issues.
Why?
No. Don't
I don't think it's fair.
Don't do this. You guys come here and do this, Ella. Don't do it. I'm saying that you have raised two issues. You have raised two issues.
People like you.
Now, first issue is that you say Mensah is powerful. You like the posture of Sontimer.
Yes.
And that just by one order from Mensah,
yes,
people will stop advertising with him. So the commercial aspect will be affected. How is that, what you call it, commensurate, or if you like, equal to a political party deciding not to appear on a TV station?
Well,
or radio station?
I'm saying that. When NDC decided not to...
Your time is up.
We'll come back.
NDC decided that they will not go to Oman FM.
And Radio Gold, when you people decided you won't go to Radio Gold.
You would appreciate that it had effect on the commercial bit of Radio Gold. Because,
and
of course, people would want a radio station that gives a certain form of balance. And if it's a one-way thing, people would be a bit hesitant trying to place commercial because they know that they will not get the kind of listenership that their products will be.
I have been here. I've had people from your party say we'll threaten, we'll boycott, and we have still stayed number one.
Multimedia.
So that's not
we have not.
The detail doesn't support
that. I'm coming. I'm telling you that. And you see, unless you have not lived in Kumasi, I tell you how the Ashantis revere their
There's no debate about that. But is it right? Is it right knowing that you have this power?
If you have a radio station that will open its doors for people to attack an institution that people so revere, it's important for Mensah to respond. And in doing so, they can direct people.
You know what the streets are saying? The streets are saying that.
Johnny is saying, not streets.
No. The streets are saying. The streets are saying, and maybe you have not followed, and that's one problem.
He's not a street boy. So.
Well, it's a big man eating from the president's kitchen. But the streets. See, so Davis, OPK, the streets. The streets are saying, for example, that Odiki says, if the situation does not change,
yes.
What situation is he talking about? Galamsey said if it does not change, the excesses are condemnable. But he's talking about a situation that's pertaining that if it does not change,
I will.
Is in all of the conversation from the chiefdom, I've not heard them talk about measures to stop the situation which have necessitated some of this reckless comment by Odiki.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The fight against Galamsey is not a one-man job. I mean, chiefs are involved, the ministries involved, media personnel are involved, and all of that. That's what I'm saying. That if Odiki has any evidence to suggest the chiefs are involved, I mean, he knows where to go.
Okay,
but you see,
let's take a break. When we return, we can extend the conversation. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back, and thank you very much indeed for your time. This is TV3Newday. This segment, the Big Issue segment, is brought to you by Nest Chocolate. It's a taste of Ghana. My guest in studio, Bernard Mona. He is a former chair of the PNC. Also, Comrade Murtala Mohammed, the former Deputy Minister of Trade and MP for Tamale Central, and Davis Opoku. He is the Member of Parliament for the Impriasu constituency. Gentlemen, welcome back and thank you very much. You were about to quickly land so that we can talk about Canal Damoy and go.
I'm saying that it's important for Odiki to take steps to at least appear before the chiefs. And my colleagues made mention of the fact that it's been
banished.
That's what he said himself.
Yes. That is not the case. I mean,
that is the slaughtering of the ram.
No, he said that he was banished.
He's been banished, I know. But it can still appear before them.
No, how can
in banishment?
Oh.
Allow him to make his
in the Akan traditional setting, they have
Akan or Asante.
Akan.
But we are talking about Asante tradition.
But Ashanti
no, but they are not always the same.
In the Ashanti traditional setting,
exactly. Tell us that
they have a person, a chief, they call the Jantuahene. So is one person that you need to appear before. Then you now go and plead on your behalf. Then the customary stuff can be performed. Then you are brought to appear before. So he needs to take steps. It's important he does that. Especially when he is a businessman, he has businesses running in Kumasi. Like I said, I mean, Ashantis, the last thing an Ashanti would want you to do is to look down on their chieftaincy institution.
Everybody, including even the Gumbes.
Which tradition will want you to look down on their tradition?
Well, so that's what I'm saying, that it's important that Odike is measured in its commentary and takes steps. It's important for him to do that. I know that if Otufo comes today, I'm sure this thing would end. But I'm pleading with Odike. I mean, we love his contribution to the political space. Odike, when I was a kid, Odike had a big shop in Accra Central where he used to sell shoes and all of that. So, in terms of the economic development of this country, his contribution to the political space, helping some political parties like Butalezone and all of that.
Too. In 2016, he was helping you. 2016,
they are done.
Davis, they are done. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Now, quickly.
They are my kid brothers.
Should we rather not, again, somebody says, inject this same energy, shut down, do this, do that, or we do this into fighting Galamsey?
I think the young minister is doing brilliantly well in the fight.
Yeah, the Galamsey is expanding.
Well, you see, the Galamsey, so we need to differentiate between Galamsey and small scale mining.
I spoke to a soldier who said that when they send them on those duties, they ask them not to go beyond 100 meters astride the water, when the people actually know that the machines are 500 meters astride the water. This is a soldier telling me. And he says they send them there, they are always demoralized.
Well, it's important that if
some of them are sent to go and protect some mining.
Are you sure you're not engaging in Galamsey?
If me,
yes, answer it. Look into the cameras.
In my constituency.
No, you, not in your constituency. You may not necessarily do in your constituency.
Me.
Do you engage in Galamsey? Yes.
Never.
You are not.
Never. In fact,
you had the former minister for local government.
I've been one member of parliament who has warned that anybody who steps foot in my constituency to engage in any form of Galamsey, I will not report you to the police.
Your type are really
who attack you.
Your type are really found.
Was it not the same thing ODK said?
I am saying that.
This is not Kumasi.
No, I'm saying that in my constituency.
Johnny, you should distance your station from
I am saying
and number two, that this is not parliament where you can commandeer
your entire
I'm saying that
to leave.
Johnny, in my constituency.
Hey, you attack people.
Any company,
an MP,
who wants to come and engage in any form of mining without the consent of the people will not
but that will be lawless.
To attack
and
people.
We don't endorse those comments here, by the way, but that will be lawless.
Johnny, if you look at the law.
You are a lawmaker.
No, if you are a lawmaker, you're supposed to be lawful. I'm referring to the law. If you look at the law.
David.
Johnny,
before the EPA.
Chale.
Before the EPA grants permit. They are mandated by law to engage the constituents, to engage the community that they want to mine.
Insist on that, but don't say that you attack somebody.
If you have not followed the process,
Ashawan could be aided to leave this country by the presidency. It's true.
If you have not followed the laid down procedure,
Ashawan could be aided to leave this country.
Senior minister to the president comes to say that why the economic benefit of eating is much more.
Well, we disassociate ourselves from any attacks and all the other comments.
There's a reason why he's making that statement. If Ashawan could be aided by the presidency to leave this country, and you have a senior minister look into our miserable faces and told us that there is some huge economic benefit for allowing Ashawan to leave this country.
Johnny, my face is not miserable.
Okay.
My face is not miserable.
Thank you. Let's talk about Colonel Dama quickly. He's been asked to go.
Well, I think it's long.
Did you see it coming?
Well, I thought that he overreacted by calling a public officer a small boy.
Right.
I think that we are over jubilating in this issue of age, where anybody, despite the person's capacity to handle certain portfolios, is considered a misfit because of youthfulness. The person that occupies the office of the special prosecutor, by every stretch, cannot be called even a youth. And yet, because you are older than him, he does his investigations, brings out his findings, in that we are told we recovered in excess of 1 million Ghana cedis. We are told we recovered. Right. That means that the monies were rather paid into government chest.
Right.
So if you work with an institution, probably you did not see the kind of lapses. But these took place and monies have been recovered because your duty is to mobilize revenue for this state. And recovering money from people who have defaulted also means that revenue has been achieved. Then you come attacking the person, virtually inciting the entire customs division against the person, that your duty is to ensure the morale and welfare of the officers. And to that, in my opinion, means that if it requires corruption and dubious tactics to ensure that you are able to keep the morale of your men, you will do so. That was pretty unfortunate. But
the Attorney General is the same age as the OSP. Is the Attorney General also a small boy?
I'm saying that, so that is what I'm saying, that don't whittle down on people's capacity. See, I have seen Macron become president. Macron is a younger person to me, and I'm sure even to Mutala. And so to many others, Macron should be considered a young boy. He's running. Small boy, Macron is running a whole country. And then another person probably of the age of Macron cannot run an institution. Just an institution. It doesn't speak well. In other jurisdictions, we have younger presidents taking office at the age of 30, 35, and they have performed outstandingly.
Okay.
Finally, let me make this point. Finally, let me make this point. You see, the presidency is a house of full contradictions.
Oh, how?
In one breath, Domelevo was axed out of office. When people, and he himself said that he has not reached retirement, he was forced out of office. Another person has overstayed in office for nearly 18 months. But until this particular instance, Colonel Damwa would have probably still be in office. In any case, the allegations that he was complicit in the LaBianca issue, does this termination or asking him to proceed stop any further investigations into whether he was complicit
but the
or
OSP
not?
is still or not? Is still on it.
Now that you have taken him out of office, I don't know the full ramification of that. But you see, the presidency must come clean. That they are indeed interested in stamping out corruption.
All right.
And
Thank
not
you.
Supporting corruption.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm rushing you. Nana Jenny Boating the first is Amaman Henning. He joins us on the phone line. I'm told he has some reactions. Nana, Akwaba.
Yeah.
Nana Unkwaso. Nana, you're in where? Hello, Nana. Nana, you're live on TV3.
Yeah. Thank you, my brother. How are you?
Nana, I'm greater than Accra. How are you too?
We thank God. I want to greet my... Yes.
Yes,
we greet my brothers and for their nice presentations. But I want to plead with them that sometimes when issues you are not well versed in, you don't go in to just spoil the case. As the MP did say, Odike is a very nice gentleman. He's contributed a lot. We live with him in Kumasi. He's a very nice man. But once a while in life, you make a mistake in your speeches, in your delivery. But it is where you are drawn that, hey, you are going too far. And that's where maybe you are parted and you are corrected. Whatever that it takes, as they are saying, I can send videos to the producer as to what they are saying, that did he say that, did he not say that.
Okay.
It shouldn't go. It is some of the things that he said. It's a 16-minute video that I can send to you.
Right.
But what are we saying? 1 or 2 for the video you just showed. 2 said, about 30%. There's also other videos where Otunfo has discussed with them that the way that they are doing, allocating lands for Galamsey, is about time we look into this constitution and give some rights, because you are sitting there like the MP was saying, and somebody will come, then I've come from Accra with a construction, and then I'm going to mine, and the chief sits there, and there's nothing. I can show you all those tips.
Right.
Where it was a consensus meeting that he had. What is it about this story? This story that Odike said when he was given the platform, his first comment was that, and then I think we is here for us. Nana may come on what he said. It's what we have no amencia more step. As I see me soon saying in our country, my every day. Otunfo said about 30% of the people. Odike said, I can't mind what the other boy and every day. And the Otunfo said that Uncle and that's my preference with the Jawo. Let's all go near Florida Bisa over Cathay. So in this context, he said that what is it that Otunfo will say when he goes back on Asante? You understand?
Right.
So I beg you, let us get this issue. Once again, at one of the radio stations, he went and said, please, take your time. He said, no, Mami Kama said, leave me to say my story. So he goes on and on and on and on and on. He gets another opportunity. Why they started the scene? I beg you, my brothers, as you know in your traditions, every place has got a tradition. If you don't know, you ask. When you are subject, like my brother Danny is going somewhere, and you think that you are going far, which will bring trouble to you and your people, that place will slap. Because the essence of that was that when you are going to bring trouble because you are catching an institution. When you are attacking an institution, you, but that one person, cannot do trouble, something to bring trouble to your generation. So it was a way to just stop it there.
Right.
So, and that evening was a Friday. It was not a meeting of all chiefs. Now, all the others were not there. So, like, when they heard it on that radio, immediately, that's where the farmer went there to do that, as to a way pause it there. And the next question is that having paused it there is where the contacted his own chief was someone to tell the family to invite him so that he can go and plead, because it's like you are bringing us into trouble.
Okay.
Then he's given another opportunity and say, me and we are now, my way. And then he goes further to say that when he gives it, the airport to cry the night and the man for us and say, when we are not the crowd with you. So that is what we are talking about. So don't just go into issues where you don't know and you just sit on radio or television and just make a case. Who has not given him that opportunity?
Nana, so
I beg them that when they are getting their facts.
Nana, so
right now, send the videos to you. Nana, now, and then you play them whether now or tomorrow, and then they come again to defend the indefensible that they are defending there. Please.
Nana, so what are Odike's options now? Is it correct that he's being banished from entering Malaysia? And if that is so, what residual measures are there for him to be able to be at peace one more time with Malaysia?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That the ordinance, like let's say in my case.
Hello?
Yes.
Nana Babi, I'm listening to you.
I'm saying.
Right.
Like in your case, let's say you come from Amoma and you are with me. I will have to take you there because you are my subject. You see, so in this case, the chief of Africa invited the Sunday of that person, which was last week Sunday, that the family should come and call him, and he goes with them. And the man says he's not coming today or not coming tomorrow. So if you are not coming today, you are not coming tomorrow. All that you go there. And that's where, my brother, I don't know, Mr. Mona has been at Malaysia before. He knows how we go by attractors and systems. Attractors is that immediately an issue comes, you are heard, and all the divisional chiefs are given the hearing before final ruling. So there's no way that we would have just passed judgment on him because you're only coming there to re-echo or to repeat what you might have said. Because maybe you can say it was Dr. Tip.
Right.
So now what we heard on radio, you were saying it, champion, check out, 16 minutes. We never make myself, and then the tattoo. So that's a pause there. And so the pause there was that keeps happening. To pause and don't bring trouble for what you are saying, to bring trouble to people. If you are attacking me and I didn't watch it, it has nothing to do with Nigeria. There's no slapping of shit. But you are attacking a monarchy and institution where you are saying that for and then assembly comments here. So why we let our opponents and another my preference be sour?
Okay.
So that is not the fact that Otunfo himself is directly in the face. But with all these things that you are playing, you are saying that Otunfo is in some chiefs. So if you know the chiefs, why didn't you mention the chiefs there? He's a very fine man. All of us are his friends. Nobody likes where he's got into now. But I think that some of these commentaries are making the thing too bad for him.
Okay.
Like you have your lawyer, and your lawyer is not presenting your case as a case, and maybe by the time the other party gets the facts, you would have put yourself in trouble. And this is why I think some of these commentaries are bringing it in.
Okay. Nana, thank you very much for your time this morning. That's Nana Ejenim Boateng, the chief of...
I'm sending the videos to Danny and let you see it tomorrow.
Okay. Nana, thank you. Nana, the MP for Impriso has a word for you.
Me too. Nana, where do you want? Where do you want Daruma? Yes, sir. Say, yes, sir. You penny were from there. Yes, sir. Say, Mumfanchani and Pequania. Ja. You never to meet us from them. You were GDS were from. But the Empequania bet me a fasona. Ya so was a problem. Madaruma.
Nana, you would have to listen through the phone and mute the television, please.
So, see, like I'm saying, nobody, may not as a person, I feel very hurt in this issue because he's a very nice gentleman. Very, very nice gentleman. He's loved by all, like we are saying. He's contributing very well to the media space in Ghana. But like we are pleading, they say, issues have come. How do we all, nobody, and that's first practice, nobody, because after all, what is it that to anybody will be paid the iron? But like I'm saying, we all live in our space. Why is it that when somebody comes to radio, then the radio station will put that the comments and commentaries here is not the decision of the committee? If you, the same people are saying, why did Oyerepa say, why do you take yourself out? Because you know. And why is it that sometimes when the people is going somewhere, you tell them the matter, stop there, or you cut the person off? Why is it that sometimes when people call in and you are reading from the Facebook, you get to some point and say, pay. You don't read that because you know. So why is it that some people are sitting there to let you look at it that we can't say anything on air? We've got into a stage in life, and it is about time we all understand the institutions and cultures of life.
Right.
And leave about the modern day activity that, like today we say, and now children are getting into levels and it's spoiling everything. Get to universities. All those of you here, look at the 1969, 70 culture institutions and the people we are having today. Please, nobody is against anybody. Nobody is against the ODK. What is it that ODK has that anybody is against it? But let us all understand that we are getting off the board with today's situation where we think that because of democracy, anybody can say anything.
Thank you.
My brother Salmona saying that, or my Dagomba brother, who is Ashanti, because Dagomba in Ashanti can go and prostrate there and say anything like you come and say.
Right.
When we come to radio or television,
right.
We shouldn't like to look at
Nana, point made. Nana, point well made. Mutala has a quick intervention.
Nana, I don't think that anybody has defended ODK on this program. We have all condemned if he made the statements in excesses. We condemned any attack on the Asante man or the Asante. Right. Our problem, we condemned. In fact, if you listen to all of us, we all said if he made a statement that is injurious to Manshia, we condemn that. Our problem has to do with the radio station. The fact that the radio station was asked to close down, that is where our problem is. We haven't induced any facts anywhere. We looked at the issues at hand. So I think that maybe perhaps, I don't know whether Nana himself listened to the program. Nobody defended ODK. We are only defending press freedom. We're only saying that for the radio station to have gone off, that is where we have a problem. But as to any statement he made, that indeed is a direct attack on us, on the Manshia. We all condemn that statement. That's the point I want to make. Because look, there is a symbiotic relationship between Dagbang and Asante, and I will be the last person who would want to undermine the authority of the Asantino or Asante man. We all support the decision, but we think that the media house being asked to close down, so we have a problem.
Thank you very much. So, Nana Ejenin Boateng, the first, is the chief of Amaman and is the chairman of Otumfor Developmental Projects in Kumasi.